look at something inside my playbook here. And the one thing about First Down Playbook that we make so easy for you is to create your own full playbook. Do whatever you want, call these sections whatever you want, but you can do anything with inside this playbook. Now, the other thing, we do have a whole database of plays that you can find. You can actually put these in your playbook and edit those too. So that's kind of what we're going to look at today. But the main focus is this section right here. Our top 3 youth bunch formation plays. Now, I do want to be very honest with you up front. This bunch formation that I'm using actually did come from the varsity search, and I will show you what I mean a little bit later down the road here on this video. But the very first thing I want to go, just talk about all 3 of them. First one, I have strong toss, and I actually have a 4th one in here I'm going to show you as a bonus. Strong toss, very obvious, we're going to look at that. I have counter after that one, and then I have a little bubble RPO, but I really made some changes. I'm going to talk about that in a second too. So let's just go ahead and open up strong toss, and I'm going to do the edit version in case you want to make a change as I show you some things. So now we're in here. You can change the name of your play right here. Call it whatever you want. This is what I call flex bunch. Okay, flex would be the Y coming in. Bunch tells the Z to stay with the Y. So that's just my terminology. All right, I kind of want to move him just a little bit. It's bugging me. All right, now what we have here is toss versus 3-4 open, meaning 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, open field, open middle of the field. That's what when you look at these plays and you see the word open or closed, this is open. If he rolled down somewhere here and he rolled over to the middle of the field, we would call that closed because the middle of the field's closed. Just a quick little tutorial on what that means. I know that can be a little confusing from the first time you look at it. So it is a very obvious strong toss. And what you see here is we have our Y blocking down. We have our Z blocking down. We have our F pulling out here to get to corner or safety, but most likely the corner. When we teach this, we don't teach who you're blocking. We teach where you're blocking. Space. Okay. Our tackle is going to pull. And you see the orange line represent the orange here for the tackle, or I'm sorry, purple. Orange for the F, purple for the tackle. Whenever he pulls, he's looking to get outside, and we're not teaching him to get outside safety or anything. We're just telling him pull and get upfield. Look for work, okay? And most of the time, that's pretty self-explanatory, but we have to teach that in a correct manner. Everybody else right here, they're taking care of level 1, and then they're working to cut off anybody on a potential pursuit or flow. So we have multiple ways of stopping these guys. These guys should not get involved, all right? Lastly, I want you to remember this Will linebacker right here. He's somebody, for me, I'm going to have somebody on my staff watching all linebackers, but I want to see exactly what he does on this type of play, and I want you to remember that for later, and we'll talk about that and the reason why later. So, simple toss, pretty self-explanatory what's going on here. The one thing I will show you, depending on the age level, this could be a handoff instead of a toss. If you do not feel confident in getting this quarterback snap and actually tossing it, take the toss out. Let's just take it all out. Let me move that ball for a second. I'm going to remove that line. Now watch. I'm going to move him up to here where the ball handoff would be. I'm going to move this line here. I'll change that line there. Now, the reason I would do that is if I don't like the idea of the toss. Now, instead of a toss, it's the same play. It turns into really a stretch, the way most people are calling this, but an outside handoff, an outside stretch play. Now, me personally, I think I can get away with the toss. Just a couple things there. You can flip the play left or right, but I don't think I'm going to need the idea of handing it off. I think the toss will work just fine for me. Let me adjust that line there. And you see just how quickly and easy you can adjust lines or make lines inside a First Down Playbook. It's really, really a cool thing. Let me get that up here. There we go. Okay, so we're done with this play. It's probably one of the first plays I run in the game. 1, I want to see how they line up to it. 2, I don't think they can tackle us. So I'm going to save that. I did make a couple little small changes. Now I'm going to go back into our playbook here. Once we open this up, any changes you made will be reflected. But, I don't want to show you that bottom one yet. Let's go ahead and talk about the counter. What I would consider one of the second best plays, maybe the top play but I think there's a lot about this play that really needs addressed. First and foremost, this Z. Let me just move him way up here. I want you to see something. When I was talking about the difference in youth and varsity a little bit ago, if I want to make this a bigger player, that's what you're going to find when you find youth plays inside of FirstDown Playbook. Our youth section has a little bit bigger players, whereas our varsity section keeps them just a little bit smaller. The second thing about this Z, I'm going to move him back now. I have him in the bunch formation still. I got a little bit too close. Now, I have him motioning over, getting set, because you cannot be going forward to the line during a motion and a snap. Getting set, and then he's helping block this end. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't think this tackle can block this end one-on-one. That's a very important block for this play to work. So, I have the Z coming down. I could have him stop here and insert like a fullback. It'd be a good time to have a fullback body in this position, or another lineman for that case. Okay, but that's the reason I have him motioning. Now, if he's not a concern, if I feel pretty confident that we can block that end without any extra help, then I'm going to take this line. I'm going to simply remove it. And that's a line I added. It did not come that way. And then from here, I will remove this line as well. Now, I'm going to do exactly what he was doing the way I found this play. He is simply running the lane, looking for work. Okay. One thing here, I do want to zoom in on this F. It's a really cool thing. Lineman view is what we call it, but you can zoom in. All right, now we're here. That F is taking a hard jab step to the right. Now he's coming. Okay, so as soon as we snap the ball, our guard is pulling and kicking out. He's making a lane, but our F is making a hard jab step, hopefully influencing him to jab with him, but possibly him too, because our running back's doing the same. But now after that jab, he's on his horses, as we call it. He's trying to get to this area and fill up into this hole as fast as he can. All right, so that's one cool little thing you might want to consider if you're running this out of this formation. Lastly, our H is probably taking about 3 steps, probably 1, 2, 3. Now he's up the field. All right, this is something you need to practice. Make sure your timing's correct on it. Make sure your spacing's correct on it. You can run this out of shotgun, even out of pistol. I don't mind it out of pistol, but I would prefer, if I'm running out shotgun, I'd prefer it to be more like that. Get this lined up a little bit better, where he actually steps in for his jab step to get the ball, and now he's coming. Okay, actually, this is exactly how I do run it sometimes, but that's just because it's shotgun. I do still appreciate the under center plays. I do think there's a space for them. The last thing on this play before I leave this one that I want to talk about is simply put this X receiver. Right now we just have him running and then doing a runoff if this corner's running with him. Now, if this free safety here is a concern, I'm going to remove this line right here. Let me grab it. I'm going to remove that line. If that free safety is a concern, all I'm going to do, add another line here. I'm going to make it a slant, a post, a dancer, a glance, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Get him into this section to hold that free safety. Now, if he's not concerned with this, that's roughly about a 10-yard pass. If he's doing this every snap, you need to run this right here. There's nothing else in the playbook you need. Go ahead and run it. But that should hold him here. All right, so that's the last thing on the counter here I'm going to talk about. Let's just go ahead and save this, because I did change that route right there. Oh, I don't want to leave. I want to save it. So now that play's saved, let's go ahead and go back to our playbook. Have our last play. I said top 3 youth bunch formation plays here inside of FirstDown Playbook. The last play I want to talk about is technically called an RPO, and I already made the edits to this play. I already changed the way I got this play, because when I didn't draw this play at all. I made some edits to this play. I found this play inside of FirstDown Playbook and added it. Now, the reason I left it the RPO is so I could tell you how I found it. So we're here, And you can see the old RPO would have been this. We're going to read that guy, and then we're going to RPO off that guy. All right, that's how it used to be. But you can see how quickly you can make an edit. Very quick. And there's endless possibilities of what you can do. And we're just going to go ahead and base block this end. All right. We really just need a hat on him. He's not too much of a concern. If he's really concerned about it, you could change a little bit about how you're blocking it. But I'm not too concerned by him. The other thing is this F. He is running a bubble. I'm not concerned. If you teach this as a straight back pedal to the hash, catch the ball and run. All right. Now, we'd ideally like to get in here, but that's just the way it looks on paper. He may stick his nose in here. If he does, then you are probably going to score a touchdown. But we're going to run this play within the first 3 plays of any game we start. All right. We want to see how they flow, how he flows. But more importantly, we want to see who they're reading. Like I said, we want our staff, somebody on our staff, to be watching the backers. If the backers are reading the running back and they all take 3 steps because they see the running back go that way, then you can do stuff like this all game. If they're reading the quarterback or if he's manned up here, then you need to think about the rest of the play calls. But that's how quickly we can do a quick little pass play. It's literally a 5 to 10 yard pass for your quarterback to your F. This is a time we don't want this F to be a true fullback. We want this to be an athletic kid. If it's that much of a concern, tell your Z to line up here. But for a lot of what we do, our F is universal. A lot of times they are more athletic. But if you have an F for like that counterplay a minute ago that's more of a fullback, you can run it with them, sure. But personally, I'm going with somebody else if you have it on your roster. It's all up to you and what your roster has. Call this whatever you want. I left RPO in there just so I could explain why I changed it. But if you want to RPO it, by all means, go for it. I just don't think it's going to be the smartest option for majority of youth programs. Now, if you have a middle school and you have a quarterback and a couple athletes that are really good at this RPO and this is what you practice a lot of, then sure, RPO it. Go back to how it was drawn. But for me personally, I'm just gonna call this flex bunch bubble. I'm gonna take the RPO totally out of the equation. So I'm gonna save this play. Now that is our top 3 youth football plays out of that bunch formation. You got the toss, you got the counter, and then you have the now screen, as I usually call it, the bubble RPO, whatever you want to call it. I do want to give you one extra play. You know, we have a run, we have an outside run, an interior run. Now we have a little pass. All right, little screen, whatever you want to call it. The last thing I want to show you is a little trick play. And here it is. Let's just go ahead and open it and look at it. Now, if you remember, we was talking about the toss earlier. If this wheel linebacker, like I said, have somebody watch him. If this wheel linebacker right here on a toss is just scraping or starting pursuit, or he may run up and then just start his pursuit. As long as he's not doing this every single time, then you can run this play probably for 6. And by 6, I mean touchdown. All right. We have no motions going on. Everything's post-snap. We're in the flex bunch, so we don't need the motion to get him here. We have our H running our toss sweep track, as we call that, except we teach him on this play not to get wide, to go ahead and hit it hard. We actually teach him, I don't know if you're familiar with the lighter term, we teach him to go off the F's butt and act like he's trying to strike a lighter off his butt. We want him right there, right now. All right, it looks like split zone in high school. Now, from here, we're going to either A, toss it on the opening, which then that toss would actually be more like right in here, or we're going to open up and truly fake toss it here and hand off to the Z on the round. Our F, post snap, he's going around. We put this little line in here because he may help block this. This is more of a concern than this, first off. Second off, if he doesn't have to help, we don't teach him to slow down and read it. We just teach him to block the first off-color jersey. All right? So now he's going to run. We're hoping he can get the seal. But to be honest with you, we don't care what he does with it. We want a hat on a hat. If this guy flows, which I highly doubt he does, otherwise we're probably not calling this play, then we simply have this. Okay? But like I said, I doubt he flows that hard because we're probably not going to call this play unless we think we can run this the way we want to run it. All right, so here's how the original play is. Lastly, if that corner is going to run, just do a runoff. If the corner is going to run and you want to block here, I think you can do something like this. All right, almost like a little slant, especially if he's running with them. Let's steal this edge right here. Let's stop the pursuit. Make that corner tackle him. A lot of corners are not making this tackle, so make him do it. All right, but that's our little trick play, as you want to call it. It's really just a Z around, like it says. But flex bunch is what we call this formation. Z around is what it's called in our database, but you call it what you want. Remember the open the field, 3-4, open the field. So I'm going to save this, and if you want, stick around one more minute. I'm going to show you how you find the exact play that I just found, or any play you want to find. So I'm going to go back to our playbooks here. Now this section is going to need renamed. We got top 3 in here, and now we have 4 plays. But this is how I found these plays. And this is applicable. It don't matter if you're high school, youth. It really doesn't matter. College, none of this matters. But I did show you the difference in youth and varsity and one of the players. This is the search I ran. You can see it here. Once I get to this point here, you can actually see the last search that I did. There's the play we just talked about. Remember, we changed that X receiver. We changed him to run in and then sealed this off. Actually, it's closed. There's the play we ran. Exactly. See the difference in open in the middle of the field, and closed. Okay? Now, if I want to find another play in this formation, if I want to find another run in this formation, you have all of these options. There's a whole lot of things in here. If you just want to see what all plays are in here, just leave it to all. You got running plays. All right, let's see. 66. I'm not going to filter through 66 of them and waste your time. Let's get a little bit more. Let's go short yardage here. See what happens. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. Let's do a quick little dive. All right, nothing came up because of that formation right there. No big deal. You can change that formation. You saw all of them, quite a few. Look for a lead. Here we go. So, it's a pretty good little play here. Let's find the one against the 3-4 open, since that's what we're looking at this week. Here we go. Let's add this play. Select it. Add selected content. There it is. It's in your playbook. All right? That's how quick I made it. Now, as soon as you see that word copy of, that means it's your play. It's not our play anymore. It's your play. Let's go in here to edit. And I probably went over my 1 minute, I promised you, but I want to show you how quick you can make this your play. It's already your play because it says copy of. I'm going to take copy of out. I'm going to type flex bunch because that's what I call it. And then ISO fold, you can, whatever you want to name that, that's up to you. I don't have to do anything else. I can leave this play just the way it is. Let me look at it here just a second. My kids really need this to be drawn perfectly. So I'm going to take this all the way to him. Like I said, I don't like to teach who they're blocking, just where they're blocking. Probably going to have him go to the safety, but that's fine for now. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. You see the little space here? Okay, here's the thing. So this is out of shotgun. Let's show this from under center. Takes nothing to change. All right. Now let's add, click that line again. Let's add the handoff. There you go. That's how quickly and easily you can change these plays. I don't like it going over the H, so I will just go ahead and do that. And there we go. We have this play 100% changed the way we want it. We wanted it under center, and you saw how I found it. At this point, I'll save it. I'm going to go back to my playbook so you can see that it is saved already in my playbook. And this might be all I work in practice, the next practice. I want to get really good at this formation and 5 plays out of it. Really, I'd probably just do 3 or 4. Here they are. There's a change. Remember, we went under center and added that handoff. So that's how quick you can make a playbook here. That's how quick you can change any play you find. Most importantly, if you have any questions, give us a call. Our number is 512-814-6158. You want help on making plays like this, finding plays like this, where you don't even have to draw a single thing, we can help you with that. Better yet, take a free trial. We offer a free trial. Take a free trial. Go to this Find a Play section and look for plays. Look for the exact play that you want. You can look for defense. You can look for offense, special teams. It's all in there. Do any type of search you want. And then you can see how quickly you can edit any of these plays. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, give us a call. Take a free trial. If you take one, we'll probably call you because that's what we do. We help coaches.